Hi, it's Mr. Smith. In this video, I'll be going over the syllabus for contemporary math. And so, first of all, you can see that instructors normally will contact you within 24 hours. Normally, I'm much quicker than that, but if for some reason I do not respond within 24 hours, please send me another email. On occasion, I'll check an email and I don't really have time to address it, and I'll forget about it sometimes. Or maybe I just somehow overlook it, but I'm normally really good about getting back to students. Please re-email me, and I will be very apologetic because I don't like to do that. So there's my contact information. Notice my name is Scott Smith. Scott is with 1T, and so that's where my nickname comes from. So I am 1T. There's my email address, scottsmith@dallascollege.edu. My phone number is 972-677-8940. My office location is J127, and so that's pretty close to our classroom. I'll be announcing office hours after school starts. This is a number where you can reach our division office if for some reason you need to talk to them. Let's go ahead and go down to course information. So let's see, this is section 2140. That's what differentiates us from all the other contemporary math classes. And let's see, the fall, we meet Monday, Wednesday, 2 to 3:20 p.m. in room K234. Our certification date is Saturday, September 2nd. We'll talk more about that shortly. And the last day to withdraw from this course with AW is November 9th, which is a Thursday. Now please, I hope that you'll talk to me, or you may want to talk to some of these other people, such as a success coach, before you withdraw. Sometimes students make a rash decision, and because we get emotional, especially when we fail a test or something bad happens, and you just don't want to make a quick decision without thinking it through. Sometimes it makes sense to finish out a course and retake it the next semester, and that new grade will replace your old grade. The other thing is, if you do need to withdraw, don't just disappear, which is what sometimes students will do. Make sure you do withdraw using the correct procedure. Sometimes students will just take off and they think they're done with college. A couple years later, things change and they come back and they see that they're on, what is it called, academic probation. So make sure you take care of business. It's not that big of a deal to do that, and it could save you a lot of trouble. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next page. So course description, the student learning outcomes, Texas core objectives, these are all things that you can read on your own. The core objectives are basically things that we're trying to teach our students. And as you go through your coursework here at Dallas College, for example, critical thinking skills is certainly something we'll work on in our class. These are all important skills, the kind of skills that employers are looking for from their employees. So those are good things to be working on or trying to improve. Our required course materials are basically part of your tuition. That's called the Include Ed program. So basically in our course, we use My Math Lab or My Lab Math, and that's already paid for as part of your tuition. I don't even know if you can opt out anymore, but it's certainly something you don't want to do. I've had a few students, very few, that have done it, and it never seems to go well. You're not going to save a lot of money. Our tuition is very, very competitive, so please don't opt out. You'll save yourself a lot of headaches. So this is the book that we're using. It's a very good book. Of course, it's online, and we're using this program called My Lab Math, which is basically a textbook-based software where you're going to complete your assignments. But you're going to need to have access to a computer and also internet access, probably, in order to complete all your work for the course. So it's important that you have those. To start working in my math lab, just go to the home page in eCampus, which we also call Brightspace. It's all in one and the same. For this course, and then go to the math lab or my lab math link and click on that and just follow the on-screen instructions, and it's very easy to get started. Let's talk about a calculator. This is not included in the course, so you may need to make a purchase. Now, if you have a calculator that you're really good on, and that includes being able to do complex fractions, that's basically fractions within fractions. So that's the key feature. Well, actually, this calculator is just very nice, easy calculator to use, especially when you're doing things with fractions. So that's the main thing that I'm concerned about. Make sure that you're very comfortable on the calculator you have. And if you're not sure about it, you can always check with me and we'll look at your calculator and I can make a recommendation. So for graded work, you can see that we have some homework, which is 15% of the grade, quizzes, which make up 10% of the grade, and then 5 tests that are each 100 points. So basically, that's 75%. Each test is 15% of your grade. So notice there is no final. We've changed that. We now have 5 tests. That last test will be taken during finals week. And let's see, I don't think there's anything else to say there. This is our grading scale, which is the normal grading scale, 90 to 100% is an A, and so on. So description of graded work. So the nice thing about my math lab is you'll do your problems and you'll put in your answer and you get immediate feedback. You're going to know if you're doing the problems right or wrong. On the other hand, sometimes students get used to doing everything in my math lab and clicking on all the help buttons and maybe do a little bit of scratch work, but they really don't write out their work and the problems. And I just want to say that I think that's a really important part of learning. I highly recommend that you get a notebook and that you take notes for each homework section. You know, when you get to a quiz, it's nice to have notes. Like you might have a quiz on 3 sections. You can go back and look at your notes, just kind of review them before you take the quiz. Preferably, you want to take your quiz without looking at your notes. Notice down below you have quizzes and you get 2 shots at those. The other thing, of course, is if you're preparing for a test. I know I remember when I was a student, I used to go back and I'd look over my homework and I would have had some places where I said, hey, don't forget this, or this is something I still don't understand. But I'd go back and I'd just review my notes and make sure I understood the key concepts, and then I would be ready to take the test. Now, the biggest part of preparing for the test is the test reviews. But before you take those, you would want to study your notes. All right, so again, quizzes, notice you have 60 minutes to take them, so they are timed, and they do add up to 10% of your grade. There, again, are 5 tests, and we said that's 75% of the grade. The tests will be taken in the Academic Testing Center outside of class, except for the last test. We'll talk about this more in detail before test 1. But here's the nice thing. Notice that if you maintain an average of 80% or better on the homework, I'm going to drop your lowest test score at the end of the course. All right, let's look at the late homework policy. So basically, your homework and quizzes should be done by the due dates, and I highly recommend that if you want to be successful in the course. However, if you do an assignment late, it's 25% off, up until the test has been taken. So all the quizzes and tests for the first test, once we've taken test 1, you can't go back and work on that homework. So you can do it late, but only up till the date of the test. Notice you can't take tests late, so please contact me the day of the test or preferably even earlier if you're going to miss the test. Basically, it's in it's going to be in the testing center, so you've got to make sure you make that deadline, or you should be contacting me. Instructor-student communication. Of course, this is a face-to-face class, so it's not as big of a deal. On occasion, I may make an announcement like, I ain't gonna make it into class today. And so it's nice if you're keeping track of the announcements. Like for me, any announcement that goes to my school account comes directly to my phone and I see it right away. So I would highly recommend that you set your phone up that way. It's something you could probably do with a friend in class or a friend somewhere at the school, or you can always contact IT and they should be able to help you with that. All right, well, I think that's all I want to say there. You can see my number there again, and just again, don't hesitate to contact me if you need anything. Some students really struggle with that. They just have a hard time saying something. It's your education. When you have problems, you need to do something about it. That's just what good students do, and that's what adults do. Attendance participation. So in order to be certified as attending this course, you must attend class at least once the first 2 weeks and begin doing work in MyLab Math. Note that's a pretty small bar. Honestly, I hope you're not shooting for that because well, first of all, failure to be certified may affect financial aid that you receive. So, we do have some students that want to get financial aid but don't want to show up to courses. So that's basically why we have the policy. We literally lose money if we have students that aren't showing up and we're collecting money for them from the state or from the government or some program. So keep in mind, this is the minimum requirement. In order to be on schedule in the course, you should complete the assignments up through quiz 2 by September 3rd. That's basically the first 2 weeks of assignments, with an average of 70%. Of course, I'm recommending you get 80%, then you get to drop that lowest test score. So institutional policies, if you haven't been in there and looked at our policies, you should be familiar with those. Do that at least once, know what's going on. Finally, if there's any adjustments to be made, I'll let you know about that as far as the syllabus is concerned, or our schedule. All right, let's look at our calendar. So you can see everything's laid out real nice by week. So the first week, I think I might have taken this one out, but in any case, how to enter answers, that's kind of an optional thing that you can do if you're having any problems putting answers in my math lab. This is an introduction to the calculator that I talked about earlier. So those aren't really assignments, they're just things, resources to help you there. But your homework 1.1, 2, and 3, and quiz 1, those are the things that are due on Sunday the first week. Oh goodness, I copied the wrong schedule here. So let me go, let's see. You know what, all I'm going to say is don't pay attention to this. Somehow I copied the wrong one. But anyway, all to say, your calendar has all the assignments for each week. You'll also find in my math lab that the dates are all there as well. If you have any questions or run into any problems with the calendar, just let me know. Anyway, sorry about that with the schedule. I don't know how that one ended up there. All right, that's it for this video.